Welcome to Off Kilter Podcast, episode 16. It's the Christmas episode.
Woo! Look at all that snow outside, kids. Whoa, it is falling everywhere. What's that?
Everywhere is snow.
There's
Christmas.
half-inch of snow where you live. That's impressive.
Yeah.
That would, like, shut down
Christmas
the schools
joy.
here. Yeah.
Any snow will shut down the schools here.
Yeah. Good old southern Alabama where it's 115 in the summer and then, like, 0 in the winter.
Southern Alabama? We're, like, not in southern Alabama.
Yeah, it's fine. That's where it gets really hot, though, is there. Right? Because it's, like, it's humid. Well, I guess humid places just stay normal temperature, like, year-round.
I mean... I don't know. I'm not a meteorologist or a cosmetologist.
I'm not a cosmopolitan. All I know is that
I'm
water...
a Pisces.
Huh? So you're a Pisces?
I don't know what I am.
Really?
Not zodiac.
I got bored one day. We're Scorpios.
Okay.
Yeah, we're like scorpions. It's weird.
Girls will straight up hit your car and go, haha, it's because I'm Capri Sun.
I'm sorry, I'm a Gemini. It was my alter ego, my guy. Oh, sorry, I'm a unicorn. And then there's like the whole Chinese zodiac too. So there's like two.
I just realized that our Mountain Dew red and green.
Christmas all planned.
Dang, we're so good at this.
They even match our hats.
Yeah.
Yep,
Nice.
we planned this.
Nice. It's not a sponsor.
Here, let's
But we would take a sponsor. Cheers.
Salute.
Merry Christmas.
Is that the thing?
What?
Salute or something?
Cheers?
Well, you say both.
Who says salute?
I don't know. I thought it was something.
When have you ever heard anyone say that?
At Christmas time? No, I mean when they smack bottles together.
Yeah, cheers.
You say, but what does salute mean?
Salute. That sounds like French.
I think it is.
That's like hey in French.
No, that's...
Let me look up hello in French.
I'm pretty sure it's cheers in French or something. So, this is a very mature podcast. Bonjour. No, just type in cheers in English.
Cheers in English?
No, in the English portion.
Yes, what is cheers in English?
No, I hate you sometimes. Yes. No, I'm not going to try. What is salut? I think it's L-U-D, yeah. I think there's a D at the end. And to health. It's Spanish?
Salud.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, but point still stands that nobody says that.
Yes, they do. I heard that before.
Who?
Apparently somebody who speaks Spanish.
You've heard that before, but you don't know? So you haven't heard it.
It's probably wrong, but I've heard it before.
Nobody says that.
Who? Okay, if I've never heard it
This is
before-
America.
Wow. Okay. There's something like that when I was learning Russian. That like people were complaining that what's the owl app? I forget the name. Duolingo.
Yeah.
Was teaching people the wrong cheers thing. Because there's the one they say to foreigners because foreigners always get it wrong.
Oh.
It's like it's actually the Polish one. It's like, and there's a big complaint. It's like, why would Russians say to health when we drink? That's not why we drink. We don't drink to stay healthy. That's just redundant. Salud.
You had one chance.
Hey, I was right.
No, what? No, you weren't.
Yes, I was. That's what it said.
It did not say cheers.
No, it's to health. Salud.
That's not what you said. This wasn't a you being right or wrong. Looking up anyway.
Okay, just okay.
The point is nobody says that.
Do me a favor.
in
Look
America.
up. Is salud used for drinking? Spanish salud comes in Spanish meaning health. Well, when toasting drinks or instead of bless you when someone sneezes.
In Spanish.
Yeah.
This is America.
Do you know how many people speak Spanish and
Okay, but you don't speak Spanish.
So?
You speak English.
I mean, we kind of understand.
No, we don't.
It's Spanglish, man.
No, we don't.
Como está? Am I right? esta coin. No, estación. It's like one of 7 words I remember from Spanish class.
Las papas fritas.
What is it? Why do you remember French fries so much?
Hamburguesa.
Burrito.
Wow.
My mom will. I think I told the story before that my mom's like, I speak Spanish. She's like, caliente. I can talk to the people.
Vámonos.
Yeah. I can talk to the people that are in my because, she does stuff in the hospital, right?
Wow.
She's like, I could talk to my patients. There'll be a medicine that's kind of like hot or like it feels kind of weird going down. She'll be like, caliente. And they're like, oh. She's like, I get it. I talk to them.
Yes, caliente burrito taco.
Yeah. No, she's great. But I find that very funny. Always comes home super excited. I spoke to a man who only speaks Spanish today.
My grandparents spend like weeks at a time in Mexico almost every year. Or like at the border of Mexico in Texas.
Yeah.
Like weeks at a time almost every year for the past like 10 years. And I'll be like, Mama, do you know any Spanish? And she's like, gracias.
Oh. She does the old white people thing.
She like knows zero Spanish. I'm like, how have you spent so much time in Mexico and picked 0 of it up?
I told you before that my grandma grew up in Panama Canal Zone, right? Where they only spoke Spanish. At least I think I did. Point being that happened.
Okay.
Right? And they like spoke Spanish when they were at school and stuff like that. And when they go home, they spoke English, right?
Mm-hmm.
She moved out when she was like 9 back to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
That lady, she's like, I used to be able to speak Spanish so well. And I was like, what's hello? She goes, bonjour. I was like, Mimi, you did not just say that.
Yes. And
the sad thing is she's such a like smart lady, but you could tell her age has gotten to her.
It slipped a little bit.
Yeah, because
one of those people that you're like, they used to be really smart.
Well, she's not dumb. I'm not
saying dumb, but like there's some people, like especially older people, you can tell they used to know their stuff.
Yeah. She was like, yeah, my she goes, as I've gotten older, my hemo oblong goblin ain't working the same way it used to. I was like, you're what?
Sounds like a D&D character or a D&D like
Hemo
monster.
Oblong
The hemo oblong goblin.
I was like, maybe
make a
make a D20 blood check. Insight, history, perception,
initiative.
Is that what you were looking for?
Yep.
Yeah. But I was like 14, and I was just driving with her to Decatur, and she was like, "Yeah, my Heblo oblong goblin ain't working right." I was like, "Your oblong gotta, your what?"
Your huh? Dude, when I was at work today, I was like running around. We were playing spider tag, and like sometimes my jaw will click, like in the joint, and it like sounded like the hit marker noise.
Is that seriously what came to your mind? You were, and you're like, I hit a child.
No, like I wasn't near anybody. I was just running, and my jaw went hit marker. That's like exactly what it sounded like.
You're like crap, I took damage. Lethal damage.
A hit marker is when you hit somebody.
Yeah.
Not when you took damage.
Well, I mean, if you did it to yourself.
My jaw hit me.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it clicked, isn't it?
It didn't hurt.
You can hit something, it doesn't have to hurt.
Well, usually it's a gun, a hit marker.
Usually I hit myself with a gun.
No, like a hit marker is from gun. Gun.
I mean, it could be like a grenade.
Oh yeah, that's much better.
I bet like a flashbang, like you hit somebody in the face with it.
Right.
It would make a hit marker technically. And a severe dent in their skull. Yeah, Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It's that time of year. We're definitely not recording this in November.
No, this isn't November. This is a week before Christmas.
They don't know that. They don't know that these are out of order.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Well, they won't till the week after Christmas.
Right.
When we say, oh crap, Christmas is next week. And then we pull a hat out of nowhere like, happy Christmas.
But Christmas is next week now.
Yeah. It took us a while to record this because I wasn't feeling well.
He had not the corona.
Probably.
Hopefully.
I did not get tested. Now that I think about it. I'm not coughing now.
Can you taste the Christmas drink?
Yes, it tastes like
Christmas.
health.
To health. Salud. You know me, fluent Spanish speaker over here. They say that. Some people that I don't know.
Strada Rovi.
Campari.
Really?
Yep.
Is that it? No, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
This is what,
I just said
what
something
you said it.
Close enough.
So no.
No.
So no.
It sounds kind of like that in my head. Because
it went from kind of to sounds kind of like that in my head.
I don't know. Look it up.
So no.
Oh, here.
Exactly no.
Oh, I can't reach keyboard. To health. Well, it's gonna give you the correct thing if you look that up. Cherries. Cherries.
Not what we want.
Well, that's gonna tell you ura. Like you're some kind of. You gotta say to health specifically.
I don't want to say to health. I want to say cheers.
Ura.
I want to say cheers though.
Well, then you just hold a beer up and you're like ura.
Is that not what we were saying?
No. We were saying to health. I don't know. Well, that's
saying cheers.
That's the point.
I would say cheers.
Zadarovi. Huh. Zadarovi. Oh, yeah, so I was right. Zadarovi. Ah! That's the wrong one. I knew it.
What?
Remember I said that?
Why would you want to say the wrong one?
Because I was proven... Evidently, I said it wrong earlier with to health in, like, Spanish, so I was like, just commit to it.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway. Christmas time is here. Now we get to listen to all the good songs and the bad songs. Like, I don't like Christmas time is here.
The song Christmas Time is here?
Yeah, with the Charlie Brown kids.
Yeah, it's not great.
Christmas time is here. Like, who wants to drive down the road and just listen to that?
I don't know. People that are Charlie Brown fans, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been listening to, like, any Christmas music.
I like Christmas music. I have my playlist that I like, which has, like, Michael Bublé, Froggy Fresh. It has some big band jazz, and it has Small Town Titans.
Like, the only problem with me not listening to Christmas music like you do is I have no idea what time of year it is. Like, I'm aware it's Christmas time, but I was at work today, and I was writing down the date. I was like, oh, it's next week. It's the 17th. It is next Friday. Wow. And I was like, I'm just driving home from work, listening to Devil Went Down to Georgia.
It's just because you keep the same CDs in your truck, and that's what you listen to most of the time.
Ah, that's fair. I mean, I don't care.
I mean, but most people either listen to the radio or they use, like, Spotify.
I mean, I can. Like,
but you don't.
No, you didn't let me finish. I do use my Bluetooth on my phone, like, half the time now.
But what do you listen to when you use your phone?
Whatever I don't have on CDs.
But, like, still not Christmas music.
No, it's still not Christmas music. But that's not the point.
What kind of stuff are you listening to on your phone right now? What's your go-tos?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know?
It's different. Just depends on the
day.
Name
a couple of bands or a couple...
I'll just be...
like, I'm Garrett sitting in my truck about to head to a location. You pull out your phone. What are you searching on Spotify?
Well, I use YouTube just because lazy. So sometimes I'll pull up, like, news channels. It's not music, but...
So you use YouTube and just, like, set it... You don't use Spotify?
No.
You never listen to music through your phone?
Well, if I do, I...
Use your
YouTube.
CDs? Oh, you still use YouTube?
Like, if I'm at my house, yeah. Because I just do.
No, but, like, you don't listen to music through your phone in your truck?
Rarely. Because it's just the way it is, man. Why is this a problem to you?
No. I'm just I'm more confused. It's not a problem.
Oh, because you had that face you do when you're, like, about to judge me.
I'm always judging you.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, aren't humans in a perpetual state of judging others?
No.
There's no such thing as a selfless human.
Yes, there is.
Who's not half God.
No.
Oh, I thought that's where you were going with that.
I mean, that's also true. But,
yeah.
No, I mean, I'm joking when I say I'm judging all the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I don't care what other people are doing.
I know.
No, but So were you not really asking the question?
Are there selfless people in the world?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. No, I mean, of course there is, but like I was going with a bit.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah. No, I'm quite the comedian. They like me for my one jokes. You know, they always land correctly.
You always misquote, even though no one's gonna get that quote. You still misquoted it.
That's the fun part.
They know me for my one taps. They like me for my one taps.
They know me for my one jokes.
There you go.
Let me misquote it, okay?
It bothers me. No one's gonna understand, but you still misquoted.
They might understand.
No, they don't.
Yeah, you're right. They know me for my misquotes.
What is best thing about Christmas? Oops.
I don't know.
That was the most aggressive I've ever heard.
I don't know.
You
I
said
mean, I don't
dude,
really
my
like
my
Christmas.
preacher says so much. It's like if I like think to myself, you know how like when you think of something, you notice it more. Like if you think of yellow cars and then go driving, you're gonna notice more cars. If I think about like how much he says and then listen to him talk, it's like then he did the and we're gonna have the service tonight and we're gonna
That sounds annoying. Ooh.
it's so funny.
Yeah. Oh, I would get bothered by that, to be honest with you. He'd be sitting there. He's like, open to John.
Well, it's not really when he's preaching. It's more like when he's giving announcements. Like he'll you know, you can tell that he's not really
he's
prepared for what he's about to say.
Yeah. I remember in my old church, he would never know what was going on. The pastor. This was Northridge before the one I go to now. The guy would just go up there and he'd be like, "So what was I supposed to say?" And then the person, usually the lady in the crowd, would be like, "You were supposed to say this," and then he just repeat exactly what she said but louder, and be like, "Yep, do what she said. Anything else, Rhonda?"
Remember one time our youth group was on like vacation in the mountains, and we went to
What?
I just laughed at me saying
Really?
yeah. We went to
Mhm.
That's not that's different.
It's close enough. Now you're aware of us.
Some church, I don't know, and the guy said I can't
Focus.
speak now. I keep noticing the uhs and ums now, and now I can't speak.
You became conscious of the and it is overtaking you.
Overtaken. It is
Consumed.
overtaking you.
You have been
He
overtaken.
said my sermons are like summer sausage, and you can just cut them off wherever you want.
What?
I can't speak anymore. You're gonna have to talk for a second.
But who, like, it's such a strange thing to say too. Yes, my preaching, like summer sausage. Like, what? I get it, you cut it wherever you want to eat and you put it in your food or whatever, but that's just such a strange thing to say. It's like, my food, like fine string cheese. You peel it till it gets to the center. Like, what?
It doesn't make
That's
makes less sense than summer sausage.
I mean,
though.
yeah, it makes less sense, but I mean, Isn't milk, isn't cheese just like a loaf of milk?
Isn't milk just like
A loaf of cheese.
melted cheese? What if you melted cheese and it just made milk?
Did
You
not
melt
say it tastes
mozzarella.
like milk?
Yeah, you just melt mozzarella and it's straight up just milk.
Well, couldn't you do that with like fresh mozzarella a little bit?
No.
You talked about the milk coming out of it when we were at the Walmart.
Yeah, but you can't melt the mozzarella and it be milk.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. That'd be like, I don't know how I would feel if I bit my cheese and it turned into milk. Or like
Or if,
those
like-
videos where everything's cake.
Yeah.
So like you bite the hunk of cheese and it's just cake. Ew.
What if like the reverse also applied? So you just you have to keep your milk warm, and if it ever got cold, it just was cheese. Like your milk gets cold and then it's mozzarella.
Can you make like milk ice cubes? I feel like that would taste terrible.
It would taste like milk.
But would it though?
Yes.
I mean, obviously it would still be milk, but would it would have a different taste, I imagine. I'm not talking about like crunch, that's texture. I feel like something would be wrong with it.
I don't think so, but why don't you just freeze some milk?
I mean, I don't know. It just seems like because I remember when I was a kid, we would get like this little ice tray, and we put soda in it, or I would rather, and we freeze the soda, make soda ice cubes, and then we put them in the drinks of the same kind of soda, right? Nothing weird. Yeah. But it would always water it down still because the ice itself had a little bit of like water somehow. I don't know.
Would it water it down, or would it just like make it a little flat because the soda that's frozen is flat?
I think it was watered down because I like flat sodas. That doesn't bother me.
What? You like flat sodas?
Yeah.
Okay, but like if you had a choice between a crispy soda and a flat soda,
I don't care.
You don't care at all.
I do not care.
You would not grab the crispy soda.
I grab whichever's closer.
Like I could barely handle the warm soda. It's okay with you. But now you're saying you don't care if it's flat?
Yes.
Like I will drink flat soda, but like I would much prefer it to be crispy.
I don't care. Maybe this is okay.
I think you're a psychopath.
Maybe. This might have to do with how I grew up though. Like my dad will buy like 4 2-liters and then he'll only drink them to the halfway point. Cuz he's like it's
so your dad is the complete opposite of you.
It's more like
needs them to be crispy.
Yeah, I think I'm so used to drinking them flat. That's what I'm used to.
Like
that's my brain's just like it doesn't make a difference at this point. Like I can taste the difference, obviously. Yeah, right. I just don't care because I'm used to drinking flat more than not flat. Because otherwise,
what a rough childhood.
It's fine.
I've been drinking flat sodas my whole life.
Literally, we don't drink out of the bottle, right? It's the stupidest thing my dad says. Love you, Dad. This is the stupidest thing he says. He goes, I won't drink it past the halfway point because of backwash. I'm like, we pour them into cups.
What? How could it? What?
It's not actually because of backwash. It's just an excuse because he doesn't want to drink the flat soda.
When I was little, I always heard the word backwash as bathwash.
Bathwash.
Even though I knew that didn't make sense when I stopped and thought about it. But like,
I mean, that's just one of those like Southern colloquials where it's close enough. You know?
It's like how spitting image, it used to be spit and image, which makes a lot more sense.
I thought it was supposed to be splitting image.
No.
I've heard.
Most people now say, or at least that I hear, say spitting image, but the origin of it was spit and image, as in DNA and looks.
Huh. Well, that gets even more confusing.
Well, what do you think splitting? I don't think it's splitting image.
That's what I heard. That's the weird part. Well, I mean,
I don't think it's supposed to be splitting.
I don't think it's supposed to be, but I've always heard splitting image as in it's an exact copy.
This makes me think of like cut in half.
Yeah, no, I realize what it sounds like, but like, I've always heard that and mean the same thing, which is weird. He's like a splitting image of his dad.
Are you sure you're just not mishearing people?
Probably. I mean, it's entirely possible.
Because 99, like, I don't think I've ever heard someone say splitting image.
I don't know. Again, maybe I could have just been mishearing. What? It came up.
Television show.
No. Spitting image or splitting image? Okay, so splitting image has been said.
So I guess people do say it somewhere. I just haven't heard those people.
Yeah.
Is it spitting image or splitting image?
Summary: spitting image is the most usual phrase. Splitting image and relating phrases are 19th century. Oh, spitting. That says spitting.
Yeah, it says spitting is the most common. So okay, spitting image is the most, but
commonly used. Okay, so they're both used though.
Yeah.
Why do you and me seem to have a lot of arguments about words on this podcast? Or not arguments, but just like discussions, because we hear things like each other say things. We're like, that doesn't sound right.
Just both like to correct each other.
That's fine. I mean, I don't care.
I mean, I wasn't. Yeah, are we about to have an argument about this? Well, why'd you say it like that?
No, I'm saying if we correct each other, I don't care. I'm not saying you. Yeah.
He said it confrontationally.
I'm sorry.
He's
That's
like, I don't care. I don't care.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
like, you can correct me if you want.
I mean, I guess. Like, if that's what you think.
If it's fine.
I mean. don't like agree, but like if that's what you think.
You're reading into the way I say things when I
Because
don't mean for you to read them.
But you're so obviously saying them that way. You're like,
no,
okay.
I don't mean to. It's the funny part. Like I'm just trying to talk, and it comes out that way. I'll be like, fine. It's like, no, I'm fine.
Okay. No one does that. I'm fine. No, I'm actually fine.
I'm fine. Yeah.
I just have made it where I don't use the word fine when I'm okay.
Yeah. No, that never ends.
I'm doing good. You can't say I'm fine.
Oh yeah, because if you say I'm doing good, you put in the conscious effort to say that. It's not just like I'm talking like I'm fine. You can say that fast. You can't say I'm doing good. It just doesn't work. It's too many letters.
It's like I'm good, man. Instead of I'm fine.
Plus, fine
really,
just has the
fine.
connotation nowadays of like, because when I hear I'm fine, I always think of angry lady trying to not
Angry lady?
like, trying to get you to ask what's wrong, like at a news outlet or something. Not a news outlet, but like in media, it's portrayed that way.
You mean in real life? Don't act like it's not true. The reason stereotypes exist is because there's often truth behind them.
I agree, but saying that on the internet is never a good idea.
It applies to both genders.
Yeah, I know, but usually when you say I agree with stereotypes, people automatically assume the most hurtful one about themselves.
That's not what I said.
You said most of them are true.
Most stereotypes are often exist because of a grain of truth.
There you go. Cover the butt. It's.
I didn't say all in my first statement.
I know. I didn't say you said all.
But you confronted me about it.
I know. I'm just saying, be careful. Don't.
I know what I said.
Okay, I'm just saying. But yeah, no, you're completely right. I've definitely been on the other end of I'm fine, and you're just like, oh,
I'm fine. You're not gonna ask what's wrong?
Yeah, I've definitely been there where it's like I'm fine. It's like, okay, tell me what's wrong then. It's like
nothing.
I said I'm fine. It's like, but you're not.
And then you say okay, and they're like,
that's
what?
It? You're gonna stop?
Yeah. You're not gonna.
This has now become it's not the Christmas episode, it's ranting
It's
about
the women episode.
I mean, Christmas and women come hand in hand, am I right?
I guess.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right, clearly. You just don't get my wavelength, man. Ugh. We just don't vibe. No cap. Pog.
I'm gonna change podcasts.
No, you just need to change host. Keep the name. Keep going.
Just kick you out. Garrett's gone.
Yeah. I mean, this is your house. I can't kick
It's now
you
the
out.
Wesley podcast.
You just talking to yourself for like an hour.
Yeah. Just talk to the wall.
Sounds very boring.
All right, guys. Welcome to another episode.
This is Wesley with your daily
Daily Noise.
daily dose. Your daily dose of news going on
Podcast.
in YouTube.
Nah. What's up, guys? It's Scarce
Yeah,
here.
I was trying to think of Scares, but I couldn't remember his name.
What's up, guys? It's Scarce here.
He could be the new Keemstar.
I would not be a news guy.
No?
Nah.
I mean, if I did, I would be like memeing about it. I wouldn't be like, oh, and Pokimane showed her left arm today. Or something like that. I don't know.
There's a mole on her shoulder.
And you know that several simps out there in the world have looked at it. You know, it's just like, I'd say stupid things like that. I wouldn't be like, Carson, our man of the hour, lost his girlfriend or something. I don't know. Yeah, you can't take that serious stuff, man. You got to be the good kind of newscaster that says all the stupid things. Like when Snoop Dogg was the announcer for a basketball game. I mean, a boxing match. Same thing.
He also did the Planet Snoop.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was pretty good stuff.
I actually haven't seen all of that. I've only seen clips.
I've seen a lot of it. Do you have any standout Christmas memories?
No, not really.
No Christmas memories.
I'm not
ever.
I mean, of course I have Christmas memories, but like none I look back on. I'm like, man, that's the year I got socks.
Well, not like present related, just like event. Something happened around Christmas, about Christmas.
I have this, I don't know how he's related to me guy in the family. I don't know what he is. He's just old. You know, one of those.
Yeah. He's just like there at the event sometimes.
Yeah, because like we got the mom's Christmas.
And everyone's like looking around like, who's that guy?
No, we all know who he is. Well, I just never learned.
Okay.
Yeah, to deal. I don't even remember his name. He's dead.
Uncle Tim.
Yeah. No, he's like great.
Uncle Tim.
Jim, maybe. Jimothy. I remember like
great Uncle Jimothy.
This was maybe 4 years ago. I was in high school. And we do this every year. We go to a restaurant with the extended family on my mother's side. So I have my normal like uncles, aunts, the four of them, my mother, and the kids of those families. And then there's just the old people. And there's more of them than there are younger folk, like below 50. Right?
Yeah.
And they're all just like, I haven't seen you since the year before this one when we did this exact same thing.
Nope.
Right? And then the one uncle or great uncle or whatever he is to me that I'm talking about, it's kind of the one that's just like, you know what I mean? That kind of old guy. And he started talking to me.
Disgruntled old guy?
Yeah. I've always seen him as that. And then this one year, I sat next to him and he started talking to me, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, you like history? Like, which I do. I was like, yeah, sure. What do you know? He goes, I'm a Civil War enthusiast. I know everything about it. I was like, okay.
What do you mean everything?
I don't know. I don't remember. This was like 4 years ago. I just remember the start of the conversation and that for the rest of the night, he was clowning on like how the American school system doesn't teach us more about the most important war in the Southern history.
So like,
yeah.
When he says he knows about the Civil War,
I think he actually did. Like
genuinely.
Yeah, it's not like old man racist kind of no. Yeah. It was like unbiased.
It's like when a white guy in Alabama, old white guy in Alabama says, I love the Civil War. It's like, it's kind of like an eyebrow raised moment. It's like, yeah. Oh, do you?
Yeah, exactly. Right. It
seemed like he genuinely knew.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. I don't remember what he did for a living. He actually might have been a Civil War historian. Like, he did something like that.
Right.
But it was just really weird because I genuinely thought he was the old racist guy at first. And then he's like, no, I just know. This is my job or something. I don't know. But I'm just sitting here listening to him ramble for like the 2 hours I'm at this like dinner.
Event.
Yeah. And he just keeps on going. And I was like, dude, you've been talking about this for 2 hours. I'm this random 16-year-old kid you see once a year for like 3 hours. It's like, no, I was like 14 actually. He's like, hey, you need this information, son. I'm like, oh.
Do you remember any like nuggets of wisdom that he might have said? Nope.
No. All I remember is he died like the year after that. Oh. Never talked to him again, as you can imagine.
Rest in peace, Uncle Jimothy.
It was more like I just went to the event the next year. I was like, hey, where's he? And my mom's like,
he died.
Yep. It's like, oh, okay. There goes Uncle Timothy. He's got it.
Because all that Civil War knowledge.
Yeah, he died. He died with the family. I don't think he had kids or a wife. Couldn't find somebody with the Civil War knowledge.
Can I tell you about the Civil War, honey?
Oh, no. That's such a good pickup line. Hey.
Let me tell you about the Civil War.
You want to hear about the South and its ideals? Let me show you a thing or two about slavery.
No. I was thinking the South's not the only thing that's going to rise again.
Okay.
I'm a Civil War historian, by the way.
You want to be like Abe Lincoln and free my bonds? I don't know.
There's a way better Abe Lincoln joke, dude.
What? You want to? Hey, you want to? I'm like Abe Lincoln's top hat right now. Long or like what?
Anyway.
No. Say it. What's the way better joke? Or is it like saucy?
What?
You can't like say it.
It's pretty saucy.
Okay. Might yuck somebody's yum.
My favorite Christmas memory. Every year, my family like plays like, obviously with the two different sides of the family. My mom's side of the family, we always like play a game, like a Christmas game, usually Dirty Santa. And like one year we were doing this, and everybody was like, the game was over, and like everybody was like sort of cleaning up their stuff where they had opened the presents, and my pawpaw, my grandfather,
You translated for the non-Southern people.
he goes, "Hey Dan," which is my dad, and like nobody was paying attention to anyone, like, or they were having like one-on-one conversations throughout the house, and he goes, "Hey Dan," and throws this, the like candy cane tubes that are the plastic with like usually like Skittles or M&Ms or Reese's Pieces in them. He goes, "Hey Dan," and then throws it without saying anything else. That's all he said. Okay. "Hey Dan," and throws it like not like a toss. he like that thing was a frisbee, and he was like ultimate frisbee full court shot, but it was really like he was like 15 feet away. He goes, "Foo," and it, like right on the eyebrow line. It was like, dude. And my dad, like, I love my dad, okay? But, like, when he gets really mad, or especially if he gets hurt, like, that, like, sometimes some words will be flying if, like, he gets really hurt or, like, really mad. And, like, you could just see him just, like, containing himself when that happened. It was like, boom. It was like,
I don't know if I would have been mad though. I mean, it's not his dad. I guess it's his father-in-law.
Yeah, it's no. You would be. It's not like it. It hurt. High. It was that hurt.
Oh, it hurt. Okay.
Like that. Like Pawpaw took that. Like that thing was a frisbee, and he was going for a full court shot.
Because I'm thinking of plastic. That's why I'm like, couldn't hurt that bad.
No, it's like them. It's like hard plastic.
Okay, those things are kind of solid. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's my favorite Christmas memory.
I have another one when my cousin, the one that I said looks kind of like you with the hair, he like when he was trying to like convince other people in the family that like CBD oil and like weed was the way to go. Did I tell you about that? Mm-hmm. Oh, I did? Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, well, we were all just like sitting at Christmas one year, and it's like we're all the kids, like my cousins and stuff, were sitting. Mm-hmm. They're older than me, like 26, stuff like that. So I'm the young one. I'm just sitting there, little 18-year-old Garrett, just hanging out with the adults. And he was like, "Yo, I don't know about you guys, but I am loving it here this year." I was like, "Yeah, okay." And I was like, that was kind of weird. And you don't normally say that kind of stuff out loud.
Yeah.
And he goes, "If you're ever stressed out, you should try." Like he had his hand on the table, like softly, like that, just kind of like a, "Hey, try some CBD oil." And I was like, whoa, where did that come from? He goes, "That's not the only thing I'm on right now."
Oh, gosh. I wouldn't guess.
Yeah, it's like I was like, "Jeremy, how high are you?" He's like, "Yes."
Another one of the great memories from my mom's side of the family was we were playing Dirty Santa, and my cousin, like picked a gift from the Dirty Santa pile, and it was like a letter holder, like organizer for your mail, and she opens it, and she goes, "I always wanted a mail thing," and
oh no.
And like I forget
that's said poorly.
And like my dad or someone made like a "that's what she said" joke. Yeah. And and her husband goes, "I thought everything was fine." Oh, no. And then my papa goes, "You're always the last one to know." Oh,
that's terrible. Are there kids there?
Not young kids, or like especially back then. Even now, the kids that are there, the ones that are like kids are too young to remember anything.
Yeah, it's no, I don't care. I was just like, dang, man, that happened. Ugh.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
I'm trying to remember some of the other strange things. Like, they're all starting to get married now, so that's kind of weird. Like, it went from, "Oh, this is my girlfriend I brought to Christmas," and it's just like, "Oh, you brought her again."
It's a serious relationship when they bring them to Christmas, though.
I mean, unless except for this one cousin that just does that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good old Earth for you. Or dirt, let's go with that. I'm not saying that to be mean, it's just an anagram for his name. Not an anagram, it's just allegory. There you go. What are you doing?
I was stretching my leg.
Oh.
It was not to touch you.
Yeah, well, I think it's because a lot of the people in the family think he's gay.
So he's like, "This is my
I'm
girlfriend.
not.
Here is girlfriend. I like women."
Yeah, this is her. Girl number 2 that I don't remember.
Dang.
But like everybody else that's brought one, it's like they'll come back
That
next
means
year.
that most people, it's like, this is a serious girlfriend when she's like at a family event.
Yeah, they always show up and they're like, "Oh, this is my girlfriend," and it's like next year they come around, "This is my wife." Then like 2 years later, it's like, "This is my child's mother." It's like, oh, okay, wow,
The progression, the circle of life.
yeah,
The Christmas family event circle of life.
it's pretty funny. Like,
Or when they're first getting into dating, this is my girlfriend next year. This is my other girlfriend now.
yeah,
My new girlfriend.
and then you mentioned like one year they show up without somebody. And you're like, "Hey, what
happened?"
It's like,
Oh,
hey, he's like, "Oh, is she just over at the other her family's Christmas today?" And it's like, no.
we broke
I mean,
up.
yes, but no.
Yes, but no.
And then he just like, excuse me, weirdly talks about Witcher 3 for a long amount of time.
I'm guessing there's a specific thing
Yes,
that
it
happened to you.
was.
Oh, another one of the funniest things that happened to me on Christmas was my mom. Again, I love my mom. She's a little crazy. Like, she knows, well, my grandson likes video games.
Oh no.
So she got me Xbox 3. This was like 10, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago. And like she got me Xbox 360, which I've never owned. Actually, there's one back there, but that's still not mine. That's my cousin's.
Yeah, it's just funny timing.
But I didn't have it here 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But you got me Xbox 360, Call of Duty World at War, and then you opened it up and it was NBA like 2K12.
What? Okay.
I just remember it being like, wow, this is so wrong on many different layers.
What if it was
It's like an onion.
It'd be funny if it was a place or like a Nintendo game or something in there too. Oh, wow! It's like that the Dipper meme.
And it was like,
Wow,
and I had to be like, thanks, Mama. Like I can't open it and be like, no.
It's like, man, I'm gonna play this later.
I can't wait to crack this bad boy open.
Yeah. Oh, one of my favorite, or one of the good memories, because it was very weird and I didn't understand him, was my cousin. Fake name. Help.
Jeremy.
No, it's a girl. Also, I said that name earlier.
I know. Charlie.
Abigail. Oh, Charlie. Yeah, Charlie. Charlie brings over her husband, or it was her boyfriend at the time. It had been like a year or whatever. The next year, it was her husband. You know, country style.
What? That was 1 year.
It's just a joke. It's a stupid joke, family. Like
Joke family. It doesn't
the
exist.
two girls, because like for some reason, almost everybody had boys on both male and both my dad and my mom's side.
On both male and female sides of my family.
No. Well, out of like I have 2 girl cousins, like out of like 15 cousins or 3. So there's not many girls, right? And the 2 were born from the same dad, like my uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And ironically, he only has sisters.
Ah.
So, you know, it just worked out the way. All the sisters had boys, and for some reason, the guy had 2 daughters.
Right. Makes sense.
So both of them, like, married a guy after, like, a year, which is fine. Whatever. They're still married. But it's funny to me because Charlie brings over her then boyfriend, which becomes her husband the next year. And the guy, Michael, definitely not her dad's name that I just said by accident.
If you would have not just
no, I
said
thought it was
what
funny.
you said just now.
I just thought it was funny. The fake name I chose just happened to be her dad's name, and that's going to confuse the crap out of me. Ronald, let's go with that. Charlie
Donald.
was dating Ronald, right? And Ronald walks in the house with her, and I specifically remember this because, like, he is, like, terrified. The amount of fear in this man's face is, like, indescribable, right? So he comes in, and I crap you not, till the end of the night, he's sitting on the couch just, like, his face the entire night. Like, he didn't talk.
Why?
He didn't say anything, right?
Just scared of family judgment?
Well, I figured it out later, but at the time I was like, I don't know what's wrong with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is weird, right? And then everybody else leaves. Charlie and him are the last people to leave the house, other than my aunt, right? And the moment they're the last ones in the house, Ronald like stands up and is like full of life. I have never seen somebody that hyper in my entire life. And he's like, "Hey man, how you doing?" I was like, "You doing good?" Yeah. It's like, "I'm fine." And I just like,
what happened?
It's like, dude, well, you have like not moved at all. Were you saving your energies?
He's recharging.
Yeah, and then Charlie looks at me and she goes, "He just doesn't like big crowds." Literally, he's like
What?
scared of big groups of people. So when there was like 4 or 5
Must be a
people,
homeschooler.
maybe, I don't know. He grew up on a farm. I was like 16. I went over to his house and he like tried to offer me something to drink, like a beer or something. I was like, "No, I don't drink." He's like, "Why? I've been doing it since like 10." It's like, all right.
Wow.
Why? I've been drinking since I was like 10. I was like, "What?"
Well, look at me. I
like-
turned out fine.
It's like, I got to drive home. He's like,
So?
and then his wife, my cousin. Yeah, his wife, my cousin, comes out and he goes, I was saying,
And she goes,
well, I almost said his name, so I didn't remember the fake name. She's like, "Ronald, quit trying to offer that boy beer. You saw his mother at Christmas. You know what she would do to him?" It was like, oh, it's like not being rude to my mother. She was just like, that lady would not let her son drink.
she don't play.
Yeah, she don't play.
Any good mother don't play.
But it was just so funny because he's like, "You don't got to tell her."
You won't.
I'll just say I'm drinking too. Like the man I am. Right? I come back the next day because I was helping him dig a ditch.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
Classic.
he needed help.
Nah,
Like, yeah.
Understandable.
I come back the next day and he like hobbles outside in like pajama pants. And I was like, "Ronald, what's wrong with you?" Right? He goes, "Hemorrhoids." And he like,
Classic.
he goes extremely into detail, like way more than I ever needed to know. Right? He's like, "Well, last night, this was like December, so it relates. It was Christmas time, kind of,
Yeah.
right? Or it was January, the week
Close
after
enough.
Christmas,
Close
right?"
enough.
And he's like, "Well, see, I woke up this morning, right, and my butt hurt, right?" So I said, "Charlie, look at my butt."
Oh,
So he's like, I pulled it down my pants. Wife started looking at my butt and said, "Ronald, I don't know what that is. Whatever it is, it's disgusting. Let's get you to the doctor." And I said, No. I'm just going to wait a few days. And you know what? Should have went to the doctor. This is like a few days
a rare
later.
moment where a country-bred person admits they should have gone to the
Yeah,
doctor.
he's like, "My wife was right. I should have listened to her. But you know dang well I never will." He's like, "I had hemorrhoids like that doctor never seen." And somehow this, like, you know, there's a little bit less detail at the time, but I ended up coming back, like, over time,
Yeah.
you know, and he's starting to fill me in on the blanks. And, like, he goes, "Man, it hurts to move." I watched him, like, hobble outside,
Yeah.
so I knew he wasn't lying, right? And then every once in a while, Charlie, my cousin, would come outside and be like, "I'm going to have kids with him." And he's acting like a big old baby. So I was like, "Ew."
I don't know, man. I feel like hemorrhoids are no joke.
I know. But it was just so funny. Because she just thought he was being a big baby. He's like, "He's fine." I'm trying to send him to the doctor and he won't go and he's going to whine anyway. It's like, pick your poisons.
Do one or the other. Or do both.
She was complaining because she was a school teacher. And she's like, "I deal with kids all day and now he's whining."
Can't get a break.
Yeah. These kids everywhere I go. Meanwhile, I'm like 16.
Like, yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you were a kid and, like, someone you considered an adult, like, told you about their problems and you're just like, yeah, tell me about
Yeah, I
it.
agree. Well, I mean,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, I knew what that happens.
She's not that much older than me. You know,
It's weird as, like, a 19-year-old when I see someone that's, like, older than 22, it still feels like I'm a kid and they're an adult.
yeah. Well, that's what she's like.
Especially when they're not, like, if they're taller than me, or like or if they're a guy that like is a little taller than me, maybe,
Oh,
but
okay, I get what
like
you mean.
has facial hair and is older than 22. I'm like, I still feel like I'm a kid and you're an adult, but really we're like a couple of years difference.
It's no different. We're the same age. Like, this is his name, Connor.
McGregor?
No, our friend. The one that we play games with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like...
I don't feel like he's an adult.
Well, I'm saying, like, for example, somebody that age.
No.
Like if Adam looked like Connor. Or
Yeah.
Connor looked like Adam.
Yeah.
It's backwards.
Then it would feel like
Yeah,
he's
because
an
Adam's
adult.
like a year older than us, and he has like a full beard and stuff. And I thought he was like 25.
Yeah. Like 1 or 2 years of separation, like I don't feel, but like 3 or 4 and like look more adultish. Like, especially me, because like I still have like acne and stuff. Like I feel like I still look like a high schooler.
Mm.
But I don't know. I might be wrong though, because when I'm working with the kids, I'll be like, "How old do you think I am?" And they're like 25.
Well, they're also little kids.
I
though.
know.
Yeah. People always.
But like, also little kids don't lie. Like
That's fair.
they'll tell you the hard truth sometimes.
Yeah, they're mean.
Like one time, this kid was talking about. I know I've told you this before. He was talking about what kind of sauces we'd be. Like
You have not told me this actually.
He'd be like
You're my
he was honestly basing it off race, but not in a racist way. Honestly, just basing
Just
it
a
off
little
skin
kid
color.
doing it, yeah.
He was like, I think he's mixed, and I think he said he'd be honey mustard. I think that's what he said.
That's weird, but okay.
That kind of makes sense.
Geez, brown mustard.
And then he said, he looked at me and said, "You'd be ranch because like all the spots on your face." And I was like, "Dang!"
Just destroyed you.
I wasn't even mad about it. I was like, I mean, I guess ranch is pretty good. I guess.
Dude, that is.
Yeah,
I don't know how to
good.
feel about
I don't know.
that.
I mean, I wasn't even mad. I was like, dang. The other teacher was like mad for me. She was like, "You shouldn't say that to him." I was like, "I'm not even mad." It's like, that's pretty clever.
That's really good. Oh, I mean, you'd be ranch. You got spots on your face.
The spots on your face. You know the spots on the ranch. And I was like, "Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess."
But with what we were talking about, there have been days like I know I don't look any different, really, than I did a year ago. But sometimes I look in the mirror. I'm like, yeah, you're older. You know, you feel older.
I like how, like, in conversations, I can be like, "Yeah, back in my high school days, 6 months ago."
Yeah. Well, it's a little longer for us since we got out early.
Well, yeah.
Yes. We can be like, well, 10 months ago, I was a wee
Back in
youngin'.
my high school days.
It doesn't feel like it was. I mean, it feels like it was longer than that.
Yeah, it does feel like. I think it's because of like the lockdown and everything. There was like a big watershed moment in our lives that happened right after, so it felt like it's been a longer time than it has.
Because we got out like second week of March.
Yeah, it was.
And they're like,
"You're out for spring break. Oh, don't come back."
It was like, yeah, you're going to have another week off for spring break. And they're like, we'll let you know by April 4th. And then April 4th comes around. They're like, you're not coming back. And it's like, all right.
It's like, well, another week of spring. Oh, don't come back.
Oh, dude, it was great.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, dude. And it was funny because you had a lot of teachers that are like, all right, when we get back from spring break, we'll do these things. And
That we had a freaking paper that we were gonna do. That made me so happy.
Oh, dude, I had not worked on it the entire time.
Yeah, we were supposed to be working on it, but then like the board was like, "Okay, you can't submit grades," and it was like, "Huh."
She got so
All the
upset.
procrastinators finally got a win.
Yeah. Because I was reading the book. Like, I read the book. I just didn't know what I was going to write about at all.
Yeah,
Because I had to... Actually, I didn't finish the book.
I don't know if I read my book.
Yeah, I should have finished it. It was... I remember who wrote it, but not what it was. By Dostoevsky. Whatever. Point being, I was so glad to be out of that, because that paper was going to be so complicated. Write about, like, the human mind getting shattered and how they react to it. Like,
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to write a ton of papers. Sometimes I'll have to write an essay here and there, but like, it's not usually a big deal.
I got out of my English classes, so I never have to
Well, I
write a
did
paper.
too, but like for my for my archaeology class, I had to write a short essay. But yeah, I got all the credits for my English.
I did have to write a few for psychology, but it's like bullet points.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's easy.
It was a pretty simple thing that I had to do. I just like wrote a little intro paragraph and wrote some stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the
Why is college papers easier so far?
I feel like there's the English classes that we had drilled into like my head what I'm supposed to do. So I don't really check what I'm doing. I'm just like, I think I'm getting this right.
Yeah. And I remember I used to do this thing where, like, I would write my paper in gaps. Like, I would write 2 sentences, then go back to playing my game. I'd finish the match, write 2 more sentences, go back, finish the game.
It's called time boxing.
Yeah. Well, no, like, I wasn't really thinking about what I wrote. And then I would, like, go back and check it after a while and be like, okay, I have all my general ideas. Revise that, and then that was my paragraph. It was really weird, and it kind of worked, except on that one research paper. Which
Dude, remember my research paper?
Yeah.
I
You
know.
didn't know a manga.
Yeah, I got an 88.
Yeah. I got a solid 74.
Still my best paper I've ever written. Probably will be for always.
I mean, yeah.
So probably
I mean, why
never
not?
gonna write a big paper again.
I hope not. They're
Yeah.
not fun. I hate papers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2Y analysis and stuff.
Ugh.
Disgusting.
I hated those. No, the papers I hated the worst were the reading ones they made us do every month in a different class. I forget what they were called. It was like,
Oh yeah, I hated those.
learn how to write. Well, writing in America, readers America, writeaclock.com.
Okay, I know it's none of those.
You know, it's something
Yeah,
like
it
Read
was
Across America. No, that's something else. Write together.
Writer's block.
Writers United.
Right of way.
AARP. I don't know. Point being, they had us write like it was some initiative passed by the school board.
NAACP.
Okay. And you had to write 8 papers across the year. Or 10 actually, because it was 1 a month in each different semester. Like in the semester you wrote 5, 1 in each of your core classes, and then 1 in 1 elective. So sometimes you did 6. But they sucked because none of the teachers wanted to do it except the English teachers. And the English teachers were like, hooray, time to write a paper. And then everybody else just hated it. They're like,
Kind of like Miss Frizzle.
it's kind of what I was going for. A little bit of like crazy English teacher woman. But the other teachers were always like, don't try.
Yeah, there were some teachers who were like, don't do it. I'll just give you a grade.
Yeah. My favorite was Mr. Workman.
Didn't he do his like, you can pick it up if you want to?
I think he said, and I quote, you did it.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
yeah, he did do it.
Yeah. And then when we like, it's funny because everybody would pass around like these folders with the papers in it.
Yeah.
And everybody who had workman's classes were always short one.
He was like, where's these guys' papers? Like, oh, you know.
They're in there. They're there.
Yeah.
So like we had to write down the order of the ones we wrote too. So everybody had to like manually remember that workman's was in there,
Yeah.
or else he would get in trouble. And he was like, "You wrote one," and he goes, "If y'all say something, you're gonna have to write one." Oh, that was the best. He's like, "This is physics, not writing."
Yeah, he's definitely in the top tier of my teachers I've ever had.
Oh,
for
dude.
sure.
From what I've heard, he's gotten interesting because of the whole COVID situation. Like the level of I don't care that he's at has hit an all-time peak.
Really?
Like it's gotten worse according to Alex. Like Alex was telling me now, like he walks in the classroom and just like he does the little I just threw up stance like at your mother's bed. Like,
Yeah.
He just walks in the room, kind of looks around and goes, and just goes straight to his desk and doesn't care.
Do they have to wear masks at County? I would
Teachers
think so.
do. At least,
Teachers
yeah.
do?
I think everybody does, like you're supposed to, but a lot of the students just put it on in front of teachers that'll bother to say anything. Because not every teacher's... This is what I've heard from Northside, at least. I don't know about County High specifically. Because the girl I work with goes to Northside. She's like, yeah, everybody knows that one teacher in the hallway that actually cares. So, like, we just put our mask on when we walk by her and then just slide it right back off when we walk by. Or we just walk in big groups where she'll just yell at all of us and we just ignore her. It's like, dang.
Yeah. I almost feel bad for, like, because I like Mr. Workman so much that I just, like, slept through his class senior year. But, like, I still got an A.
Yeah.
So, like, whatever.
I really liked him. He was a good guy.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Little wacky.
I thought about starting one of those email chains again. Just to give him some inspiration in these times. Give him a daily physics problem to solve. physicsforworkman@gmail.com.
I loved how, like, it would be us like listen / me sleeping through the lesson, and then like I would go talk to Max. And I'd be like, "Did you understand any of that?" And he'd be like, "No." I was like, "Me neither." And then we still got an A.
Well, that's because Max would always like play Hearthstone on his phone.
Yeah.
Or he'd be like, hey Garrett, magic cards.
Dude, we played so much Magic in this class.
That was so funny. I mean, he liked us. That's why he didn't care. Like he
made us stop sometimes when we were being like
loud,
annoying, but like he didn't care.
Yeah. My favorite was the day he walked up to me and said, "Garrett, I have something to show you." It was me and Faith actually, because we just happened to be there, right? And he pulled up the video on his phone of the stick figure guy. He goes, "Look, I just want to tell you, this is how I feel when I teach certain kids in my classroom."
No, I was in there too. He pulled us in the physics.
Okay,
in the lab.
So there's three of us then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were there.
And I
or
remember because Jonathan wanted to know what he was going to show us.
Oh, and
because he was like, "Hey guys, come here, I got something to show you." And Jonathan was like,
"What?
What are you looking at?"
Jonathan was one of the interesting kids in our grade.
He was special needs.
Okay, so he was like I
I'm
figured
pretty
he was.
He was.
I just didn't want to say it. Just
and
in
like,
case.
great personality, but like,
what
was comical about it is not like anything he really said or did. It was like his response time was low. Like it's literally like everything was fine, but like he would take literal seconds to answer you. And not like he was trying to answer. It's like he wouldn't react. It would be like, "Hey, Jonathan, how are you doing?" And he'd be like, "Good."
And he had the deepest voice, by the way.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "I'm good." He kind of reminded me of Mr. Crocker.
I don't know who Mr. Crocker is.
Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he looks like him. And that's not me being rude. It's just kind of true. Like,
yeah.
And he was a nice kid, too.
Yeah,
Like for some reason, a lot of the popular kids made an effort to like seem nice to him.
It was kind of a nice, like, community thing.
Yeah, but like I thought it was really weird how they were nice to him but rude to like everybody else. Certain people I'm thinking of in particular would be like, "Oh, hey, Jonathan." Hey. And then just like they voted him most memorable kind of deal because they wanted.
It was kind of sweet. I thought.
It was sweet, right?
Like, the community came together.
Like I thought it was nice that they
heartwarming.
did it for him, but I know the reason most people did it was so they could say they did.
True.
That's what bothered me.
Yeah, that's like there's always going to be those type of people, but it was still mostly sweet.
Oh yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, we haven't forgotten him.
Yeah.
So I guess it's right.
I don't think I'm going to forget it, me being like, "Hey, how's it going, Jonathan?" And me be like staring into my soul.
Good. I play tuba.
Good.
He played the tuba, right?
Played the baritone.
Yeah, but then he would march.
No, he didn't.
No? Oh,
March
okay.
baritone.
I forgot that. Well, I mean, baritone's tiny tuba, so I mean, it's fine.
Small tuba.
Small tuba. Yeah, I mean, cool kid.
Yeah.
Looked like Mr. Crocker.
Anyway, Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Happy New Year. Happy Hanukkah. Even though it's already started, but I don't think it's over yet.
I don't know the days of Hanukkah.
It might be over by the time this gets posted.
I mean, there's 8 days, right? Surely we hit one.
I think it started. I think it's still going right now, but it hasn't ended yet.
I mean, it's going to end in a week at least.
It's going to be over by the time we upload this, but I hope you had a good Hanukkah.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah, that just means hello, but yeah.
Yeah. Happy Shabbat.
That's not today. No,
It'll
fine.
be the day after we upload this.
They might see it that day.
Happy incoming Shabbat.
Yeah. Hope
Shabbat incoming.
Hope you turn off your lights. Hope you enjoy your day of rest. And day in remembrance of...
Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah. We talked about that
Yeah.
last podcast.
The podcast you'll see after this, but it's already recorded.
Yeah, where we talked about Christmas a little bit. Funnily enough.
The Yule lads are wacky.
Yeah.
Norwegian and Icelandic traditions are wacky.
Yeah. A lot of Native American, like Alaskan traditions are weird too.
I can see that.
Isn't there like the legend of the seal or something like that, where somebody became a seal when they ate a fish or something? Something weird.
I think I know what you're thinking of, but I think you're jumbling it in your head.
Oh, I am. I'm aware.
I think it's from a salmonella video.
Probably. I don't know. Mermaids.
Is that your hair?
What, this?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. It looked like a piece of plastic, but I could tell it was your hair. It was weird.
Yeah. I am actually made of plastic.
Oh.
No. Not because of surgery. I was just born that way.
I wasn't going to imply surgery.
Yeah. You notice that plastic surgery has become a lot more normalized nowadays?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I feel a kinship to Jews as a Christian.
Okay.
That's like just something I wanted to say.
It's like we believe in like the same God, but like one of us has more steps.
Yeah, I feel like we're just like distant relatives, and I'm like respect. Like if I think about Jews, I'm like nice.
Yeah, I'm like
I disagree, but like nice.
Yeah, you're like
And then those Messianic Jews, those are my brothers. I'm like, these guys get it.
Don't know what those are, but yeah.
Messianic Jews, they
assume they believe in the Messiah. Yeah,
believe in Jesus.
How are you a Jew then?
No, you can be a Messianic Jew.
Well, that confuses me because aren't you just like Christian but not?
Well, no, you're a Messianic Jew.
I don't understand how they're Messianic Jew and not just like Christian.
I mean, they are Christian.
Like
they are Christians, but like they take so like.
Oh, so they follow more Old Testament than New.
Not necessarily.
What
they like they.
Explain to me non-Messianic.
They have the. I'm not a Messianic Jew, so I might get some stuff wrong. My understanding, they are a Christian, obviously.
Go on.
They believe in Jesus, but then most of the time it's because they are born a Jew, like ethnically they're a Jew.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time that's what it is, and then so because you got to think the first Christians were Jews.
Yeah.
So it's basically that.
Oh, so they still have the old
sometimes
style.
they'll follow a lot of the Jewish traditions and like look at the midrashes and all the other Jewish texts that a lot of Christians don't know about or don't read.
And they have more icons, I guess.
When you said icons, I just thought of like avatars. I was like, they have more icons.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, they kind of just blend the two together. They like have the beliefs for the Christian, but they'll honor the stuff of the Jews.
That's cool. Yeah, that's actually really cool.
Most of the time, it's just ethnic Jews that are Christians.
Sounds
Messianic
like a lukewarm person to me. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm joking. Yeah.
Anyway.
I was gonna say. Okay.
Me and my dad do that to each other all the time. One time, I remember specifically, we were driving in his truck, and we like full volume. We're both about to say something. We said "ah," and both stopped.
It's kind of look. It's funny because I threw my hand out too. So I was like, hey.
I did that too. I was like,
anyway. Okay. Do I get to go? I was gonna say something about learning languages that has to kind of ties into what we were talking about.
I love how he was like, I don't remember what you said. Before I said the Jews
Icons.
thing? Yeah, no, before I started talking about Jews.
Messianic Jews.
I don't know. We're switching topics at breakneck pace.
Yeah, of course. This is just how we talk.
I know, but like in regards to a podcast, we're just like
that better have been the chair.
That was
okay. That really sounded like a fart on an office chair. Anyway, back to the topic, right? What I was gonna say. What?
Nothing. My mouth did not move.
Yes, you did. You said. That's I was like, what is he about
my
to say?
mouth did not move. I'm behind a
it
pop
is
filter.
on recording.
I'm behind a pop filter.
You can see through a pop filter. They're clear.
But like, it's distorted how my mouth is moving. You can't even tell what I'm doing right now.
I was gonna say, with learning a language, though, have you like noticed there's some certain things they definitely believe differently? Because I mean, one of the things we were taught early on in my Russian learning class was how to say icons, and I didn't think about it at first. I was like, that's weird, that's specific. And then I realized it was like okay, don't ASMR the mic, please.
Just gonna eat the pop filter.
But I didn't realize, thinking about it, just like the country itself has a completely different religious view. Most of them are like Orthodox style Christians rather than, the standard Baptist that you see here.
Mm-hmm.
In the South, at least.
Yeah.
And then I guess, isn't the official...
Also Protestant in the United States in general.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think about Orthodox as more Catholic.
Yeah.
Didn't even occur to me. Still, it's just weird to think about.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Very different mindset. I've heard, I've done a little bit of research on, Christianity in Japan and stuff like that. And, based on the way the language is constructed, most Japanese people it's hard to convert a Japanese person into Christianity using, westernized Christianity. You have to be able to speak the language, not literally speak the language, like
Right.
understand the mindset.
Yeah.
That even just looking at the Japanese language from what I've noticed and like personally thought about the way they use kami, which is God.
Yeah.
They use it like a lot more casually, almost like when you say like people say like, OMG and stuff in English, but when somebody really sits down and says like God, like I feel like that holds a lot of weight.
It's got that,
and
it's
even
like
more so
italics.
in Hebrew when they say Yahweh,
Yeah.
that is like
The
a 10
word,
pound
God.
hammer, like that's the name, and you better put some respect on it. Whereas in Japanese they have like, especially because the religion in Japan is Shintoism, which I say religion like that because it's really the opposite of here, because here 90% of people, 99 in the South, but even in all of the United States, most people profess to be Christians.
Yeah.
But a lot of them don't go to church. Well, it's the opposite in Japan. Most people go to temples, but very little say they're Shintoist.
Yeah.
So,
Which is strange
Yeah.
when you think about it. Yeah.
so it's kind of a very different mindset because there's not as much the concept of a sovereign being is a little not near as common or as intuitive in English, because when they say kami, it's kind of just like a passing phrase that they don't like stop and think about, whereas when a Westerner says God, they kind of have that understanding a little bit.
And is kami plural or is it singular?
It can be either.
Okay, it's one of those words that
Yeah.
just because that can make a difference. That's why I'm asking.
In Shintoism, there are multiple gods, but of course there's also
Just
Buddhism
shrines.
a lot.
Yeah. Because like, I hear it thrown around in some different words. Like this is probably heard in Western sides of the word. You hear things like okami, which is just like the dog. Or I guess literally dog god or something. I don't know. Again, I don't know Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
You hear stuff like that, or you may have played a game or watched some kind of TV show or anime or whatever and heard the word kami just passing, whether it be used in the sense of kami-sama like God or just different deities in the universe.
They also use it like just as a force of nature. Like if they like think kami, they're not really thinking of being.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like thinking nature or like, So like getting a Japanese person to a point where they can understand exactly what you're talking about can be difficult from my understanding. I don't know a ton about Japanese Christianity, but
obviously,
I plan, hopefully I get to do a study abroad, planning to do it my spring semester of my junior year, hopefully. And I think one of the parts I'm excited about is attending a church in Japanese. Hopefully my Japanese is good enough by the time I get there and like talking to Japanese Christians.
Yeah, that sounds
I
like
think that's
going to
be really
actually.
cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully my Japanese is good enough by that point.
It makes me wonder if they'll have like a statue of like.
There's also a town in Japan, I know I've talked about this on a previous podcast episode, that they say Jesus died at.
Yeah.
It's like they say that the guy on the cross was like his brother that you didn't know about, and he moved to Japan and died at like 100 and something in this village.
My favorite is the Korean Jesus thing too, like the super
Jack
buff
Jesus.
one. Yeah, Jack Jesus. Which is whatever at this point. Let them think he was jacked. People want to assume the guy.
I'm okay with him being jacked.
Yeah, but there's no way he was.
Probably not now.
Yeah, he had them sweet carpenter muscles. Actually, you know what?
He was jacked.
He could have been jacked in his younger years, doing that sweet carpentry. But
The miracle of swole.
he said, "I'll turn this water into wine with my fist."
He said, "Mass is in session."
Yeah. That's just something strange to think about. I mean, obviously we make them be however we want them to be, because a lot of the, how do I put this? Like, you want to assume your ruler is going to be somebody either really big or not, and then a lot of Western civilizations don't view him as a ruler and more of like something to believe. So they took it kind of the Mary route, where he was kind of meek.
Yeah, you
know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, you morph your faith, like either whether you do it subconsciously or knowingly, you morph your faith to fit what your personal ideas are. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you do.
Yeah.
I weirdly enough, I actually had a conversation about that with my manager the other day, which was really strange. Because like, she was talking to me, and she was saying, what if we're all right? And I was like, what? She goes, what if when we die, right? Not to get it strangely like religious any more than we already have.
Yeah.
Because
I've heard that line of thinking too.
Yeah.
Like I've not really among Christians, more like among
Hindus?
Eastern, no, just like Eastern religion in general. Like them being like, what if we're all climbing a mountain, taking different paths to the same peak?
Yeah.
Is kind of like the way I've heard. Like not really Christians. Most Christians would say no to that.
Yeah.
If someone's right, someone's wrong, is what a lot of people would say.
Yeah, because
including me.
I don't know. I was just playing devil's advocate.
I've heard that philosophy.
Yeah, because she was talking to me about
well.
it. I don't think she's Hindu, because she was talking about how she's monotheistic, but
I think
there's
they're
multiple.
monotheist. There's like different branches of Hinduism.
And
though.
that's why
Yeah.
I'm not sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to talk about something I don't fully understand.
Yeah.
Right. And she was talking to me. She's like, yada yada. She's like, I'm not gonna impose what I think on you because I hate it when people do that to me. So she was like, what if we're all right? Like, she just kind of said that, didn't really expand upon it too much.
Yeah.
So I was talking to her. I was like, so do you think when we die, whatever we believed in is what's necessarily going to happen to us? Like, let's say I die, I go to heaven, right?
Yeah.
The guy who he's Islamic, he believed in Allah. He's going to die, he goes to his version of heaven,
Which is kind of funny that you point to that example. Like, because if you think about it, the Islamic heaven and the Christian heaven are the same place.
I'm aware.
Yeah,
I'm aware.
It's just funny.
It's just like,
you said that. And
that's
Allah,
what I used when I was talking to her.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the same person.
Yeah, Allah is just God in Arabic.
It's the same thing.
They're talking about the same guy, but with completely different set of rules.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Like just like taking a step back and looking at it. It's pretty funny.
See, I thought that was right, but I was like, you're definitely more spiritually knowledgeable and like a lot more than me. At least I think so. Right. So I was like, I think this is right, but I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Yeah.
So I just didn't say it. But I said that to her, and then I was like, so you think when you die that instead it'll be like, for you specifically, it'd be like a reborn thing? And she was like, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's, she's like, I'm not saying it's right, but I'm not saying it's not possible.
Right.
And I was like, okay, that's fair. I can deal with that. Because she was talking to me, she's like, that's the reason I don't, her specifically, I don't eat meat and stuff like that. 'Cause she's saying that's the thing you'd reincarnate into. You are what you eat. She took it a little literally, I guess. But
So I should eat other people.
I thought I wasn't going to say it.
I have no respect to any Hindus watching, which I doubt there are, but
it was just one of those things.
It's
I was
true.
like, okay, it makes sense with what she's saying, you know. I was like, okay, she doesn't want to eat the specific kinds of things because of that. And then she goes, I mean, I used to not eat other things, but you adapt. You do what you do. You kind of live the way you're taught around you.
Yeah.
She goes, before I moved here, like in 2012, 13, something like that. She's pretty relatively new, like 7 years. She's like, before I came over here, I was even stricter of a vegetarian. Like, I didn't eat onions and like garlic. I was like, that's weird. I didn't ask why. She was just like, I just didn't. She goes, it was part of my faith, right? And she goes,
that is funny to me that you get to America, it's like, I'm just putting that one off the list.
no, it was more like her family made her do it because they were having to cook separately.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, she goes, I changed. I still believe the same thing, but I recognize things have to be different based off where you are. And I was like, wow, that's weirdly insightful considering some of the other things you've said to me. But Gay? Same lady. But whatever. It's
Legendary.
funny. Yeah. Oh, it was amazing.
Oh.
That's in the next one. You guys haven't heard this one yet.
Oh, yeah.
But it was weird. It's like sometimes you never know what to hear from her.
Everybody has their, like, wise moments.
Yeah. This is the same lady today who came inside and said, Garrett, my car is broken. Right? And I go out there, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, her battery probably died. You know, she had her car on a second ago. Right? I was logically like that. And she goes, look, my wheel doesn't move. I looked at her, I was like, Anna, I've said it before. I was like, what? I looked at her and I touched the wheel. I said, okay, it's fine. We're on a hill because the back parking lot's like slightly inclined, like a little incline. I just told her that it is, but that's not why this happened. The wheel just does the lock thing when you have it tilted for too long and then you get out of your car. Yeah. So I was like, just move the wheel a little bit, stick your key in and turn it. And she's like, oh, thank you. You're so good at cars. Wow. She's like, this is why we need Ben.
That's funny.
But I'm not, again, you know, she said that really insightful thing. And then, like, the next day that happened.
Yeah. The only thing, like, with, which we're not here to really debate we're all right.
Oh, I'm not saying she's right. I'm just saying it was very insightful.
Because I know neither of us really believe that, so we can't give a good discussion about that. But, like, I feel like there's gonna be a conflict of interest there because the world, like, especially with like reincarnation, like most other belief systems have like an ending point, but like with reincarnation, the world is on a timer scientifically. Like, if like I'm not talking about like if everything goes swimmingly for humanity and we're able to keep Earth going as long as possible, the sun's still eventually gonna go away. Yeah. So, like...
Well, I think the idea behind it for most of them, this is just spitballing, is that they all eventually become people. And they all eventually, the ones who are supposed to reach nirvana, this is Buddhism, is what I'm thinking of, right? Okay. So, obviously, there's that aspect of it. But I don't know. Again, you know, maybe they just know they're eventually doomed and they've just come to accept it's way in the future. And it's like, maybe so. I mean... We could technically say the same thing, except we're doomed to heaven. Doomed. I don't know. I just wanted to use the same word. I mean, like, there are people that are expats of Christianity that just say, okay, I'm doomed to hell, and they just accept it. They're aware of it. Even if they don't believe it, they're that back part of their mind still says they are, because, like, you're indoctrinated.
Yeah, there are. I bet there are some spiteful people who honestly believe it.
Yeah, I mean... Probably so. I don't know.
There's a person for just about everything. Yeah. Anyway, Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
See you on the next one.
This is a very Christmas episode.
We talked about some Christmas before we got weirdly heavy at the end.
I mean, we always do.
We're philosophical lads.
That's just how we work.
Religiously inclined lads.
All right, and now we'll do what we always do after these philosophical discussions. Go eat food at like 1 or 2 in the morning. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you for enjoying this podcast. I'm telling you, you did. Please leave a comment after the beep.